Your media, where you are. Hit those body goals. The Health Fix with Mo, a body and mind journey towards a healthier you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Health Fix with Mo. I'm your presenter. I'm Mo, just in case you guys didn't know. And today we talk about a very interesting topic. I actually consider this as one of my weaknesses. And I've been trying to do this long, and I reluctantly so. So I've brought in somebody into the studio today who's gonna make this sound simplest for us. Who's gonna help us navigate our way around this this practice. And of course, I'm talking about yoga. I named this episode the Original Flex because, hey, damn, you go through a lot through those sessions. And I'm not exactly the smallest man, so there are a lot of things that get in my way when I'm supposed to do this. In studio today, we've got Pebetsi Magkalemela. She is a yoga teacher. She's been in the game for a while. We're going to discuss yoga as a practice. She's going to take us, she's going to share her knowledge with us. She's going to give us her knowledge about the different types of yoga, her journey as a yoga teacher. And then we'll just break it down, man, and unpack this enigma, because I don't think a lot of people know, because yoga it's a 4-letter word, but it's much more complicated than that, right?
No, not really. Dumelang.
Hey. So tell us, where did this journey start? How did you get the yoga bug? When did it bite you?
Okay, I got bitten by this bug early 2000s, about I think 2005, 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The reason I got into yoga, I used to be, liking the gym and aerobics and running and doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But then I got a very life challenging time.
Yeah.
And, everybody tells you just to relax. Things will get together. But then I went into the web to check how to get deep relaxation.
Okay.
And I got to stumble again, on yoga as a way to try and get into relaxation. And another thing that I was struggling with was fertility.
Okay.
And the article I read was saying, how can I forget this? There's a methodology where you work on your feet.
Mm-hmm.
My mind is not here now, but anyway, combination of that reflexology.
Oh, okay.
Reflexology and yoga, the combination will help you, because for you to get pregnant, you need to be relaxed and all that. And down our street, I always passed a board saying there's a reflexologist. So I took time and went and visited this woman, and I booked a session. And as we were talking, she told me she's a yoga teacher. I'm like, two things in one.
Yeah.
So I said, no, I come for a yoga teacher this afternoon's yoga class. So I went to the yoga class. She was teaching Hatha yoga at the time.
Okay.
And I was hooked. I did her classes. She was just teaching twice a week, and I did all the classes. But then for me, it was just that yoga. I fell pregnant within 2 months.
Wow.
Of doing that.
Okay.
Then I moved from the area. I moved to Joburg. I was in Pretoria at the time.
Okay.
I moved to Joburg and I was just looking for a yoga studio. And I stumbled across Bikram Yoga.
Okay.
And I'm like, I went into class. First class, I was like, this is what I want to do for a living. I had been doing yoga for about a year at that time, but it was just something that I would just do, But Bikram Yoga, I thought, I don't have to run anymore. Running was messing up my knees, my shin bones were sore, and I just got hooked. And I said, this is what I'm going to do for a living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously now this is the part of the journey where you discover other parts of yoga, right? So we in that intro, you discussed the why. why you started yoga from your own personal
Yes.
gain. It's interesting that I didn't even know that it could help with fertility. You know what I mean? So now it tells me that there's a whole different world out there that we don't know about. That's why that's why I started the intro as saying it's complex. It's a 4-letter word, but it's really, really complicated because people do it for different reasons.
Of course.
Yeah.
And you get that whatever you go for and more. You know,
So the main reason that people would know about it's obviously flexibility.
of course.
Right?
Yes.
Let's touch on that. I get to you and I'm a big guy, you know, and I want to improve on my flexibility for some reason or another. Say I'm a sportsman as well. I play rugby, I play soccer. I'm an athlete. Oh, I do run, you know, and obviously those sports or those activities required some sort of functionality from your body,
Of
you know,
course,
and
yeah.
that functionality requires flexibility.
Mhm.
How do we start the consultation with a guy like me? Because obviously there are phases to the yoga life. I don't just go in and start.
Yes, of course. The reason I was attracted with this Bikram yoga, now correctly in South Africa it's called Hot 26 now because of Bikram the man.
Okay.
But you know, the Hot 26, what attracted me is like I'm not one of the very flexible people.
Okay.
I'm like made from steel. I'm very tight. You know, and once you get into the hot room, it is so easy to get into postures because your body warms up so quick.
Yeah.
You know, that is what, you know, really attracted me to it, just because you can go deeper into postures without the risk of injury as well. And again, because you sweat, you detox more because we always, you know, expel all the, you know, toxins from our bodies through the skin. So it, you know, encourage you to sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sports people, I would recommend them to start Bikram yoga. It's a beginner's yoga.
Okay.
I would recommend they start with that because the postures are the same in each and every class. It's a set sequence, so there aren't any surprises.
Okay.
You know what you're gonna get when you
so it's easier to improve on that.
Exactly,
Okay.
because it's same movement each and every time in the same sequence. Other people, now we're doing, the original one is 90 minutes. Now we're doing 70, 60 minutes. So people will just hold postures longer here or do one set or two sets, but the sequence is the same.
Okay.
Wherever you go all over the world. That's the beauty of it as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, because I know I gave you a really tough time today because
of your injuries and we're outside and all that.
Yeah, what I didn't tell you guys is that we did a young yoga session before this recording started with Pebetsi, and I was going through the most because I hurt myself on Monday doing my own things. But that's also a thing. Does it work for recovery as well?
Yes, definitely. So this is a healing practice at the Bikram yoga or yoga in general. You know, the thing that you must be aware of is your body. Listen to your body. Okay. Other postures are easier for other people and others are difficult on other people. Okay. You look at me and you think I am flexible. I'm not at all. You know, and
you could have fooled me.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm the most stiffest person you can find. What I can do is through regular practice. Okay. And other people are naturally flexible.
Yeah.
They will come to class and surprise you and do things that you have been practicing for 12 years and you can't get to. You know? Yeah. So yoga is something that you can do for a lifetime. You can do it forever and ever.
Yeah.
You adjust the kinds of yogas that you do as seasons of your life happens. You know, I was strictly into just doing Hot 26 when I started. And then I got to a studio where they do other yogas. Then I got into a little bit of vinyasa, a little bit of yin, you know, other types of yogas. And they're all different and you get benefits, different kind of benefits from different kinds of yoga.
Okay, so we're gonna get into that in a few, because that is a really interesting topic as well. Because yoga is not just one thing; it is divided into a lot of elements as well. There are different types of yogas, right? And if you've just joined us, we're talking to Pebetsi Magkalemela, who is a yoga teacher, and she's just taking us through the ins and outs of this world of yoga, just getting us more acclimatized to it. Right now, we're gonna jump into the different types of yoga. She just touched on her journey, how she got bitten by the bug, and how she can help people like me who are just balling stiff. So we're gonna go into the different types of yoga and the benefits. I mean, there are a lot, but we won't go into all of them. Well, maybe let's touch on maybe 4 or 5 of your favorites, and maybe the few benefits of those as well.
Okay. With yoga, of course, number one, everybody wants flexibility. Flexibility helps you avoid injuries, especially if you're a sports person and all that, and you'll be walking up straight in your old age. Spine flexibility finds spinal flexibility, and you get strength from practicing yoga. And without realizing it, it alters what you eat.
Yeah.
Without trying too much. You will start eating well. With what I find with hot yoga, even you're drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
Because you're going to practice, if you just go into a yoga class after a night of binging, you will feel it and you won't do that again.
Okay.
I respect hot
so
room.
it tests your commitment.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
Yeah, lots of benefits. I mean, mental clarity and living in the present. So when you're doing yoga, there is somebody shouting instructions the whole time.
Yeah.
So you have to be at the moment and listen and do them. We do not show all postures. I'll be standing and telling you what to do. You have to remember where is my right hand? Where's my left hand? With that, it's mental exercise as well. Okay, and you live in the present, and that helps. We're avoiding to expect stuff. So when you expect, you just build anxiety. So when you're in the present, and your mental clarity is there.
You told. So that's a fact, because I had to be really, really present. So we had to. You kept on repeating that. Remember where your right hand is, and remember where your left hand is.
Yeah.
Because in a world of distractions, you even forget stuff, little stuff like that. Earlier on, before we went, so you spoke about what was it, Nyasa? Vinyasa.
Yes.
What type of yoga is that? Because I've never heard of Vinyasa.
I don't know if you've heard of flow yoga.
No.
Vinyasa. It's you saw we did a bit of sun salutations.
Yeah.
It's based on that. So it's a flowing kind of yoga.
Okay.
It's more, when you're looking at it, it's more like a dance.
Okay.
Flowing from one posture to the other, and it doesn't have a set sequence. But then it's based on sun salutations. That's where you'll find, in advanced classes, people doing headstands and all those, contortions with their bodies.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what Vinyasa is.
Where does that come from? Where does it derive from?
Everything is started in India, as far as I know, although there's an argument that it started in Africa, in Egypt.
Okay.
There's something called kinetic yoga that is still practiced in Egypt, in Africa. But I'm not sure where it started, but yoga is like 5,000 years old. It's very old. So it's either started in India or in Africa, or other people say it's a Buddhist thing in the East. We don't know. We just practice what works for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about yoga for mental health. A lot of people start yoga because they're going through mental health issues, anxiety, depression, those types of things. And it's actually recommended by psychologists and psychiatrists that you start something like yoga because of the meditation element.
Yeah.
Have you had clients who have come to you for those purposes, and how how does it help? How does that practice help them with their mental state?
It's to help you live in the present,
Okay.
to be present at that time. And you find that then you practice the yoga in your everyday life. So let's start by saying yoga is not just what we did.
Yeah.
It's not just exercises which are, body. It's that is called moving meditation. What we just did. It's asanas. So there are 8 limbs to yoga. I can't mention all of them off by heart, but then it's asanas is one of them, which are postures, and breath work. You breathe is one of them, and just living in the present and meditation.
Okay.
There are other things as well. So all that forms the word yoga, which means union. Okay. And what were we talking about? We're talking about the mental thing. Yeah. Because you live in the present, it does help. When you're living in the past, you just get in depression. When you're living in the future, like, looking forward to stuff, then that's anxiety. So when in the present, when you're in class, you try to be there, and it's like meditation. I don't know if you understand what meditation does. It's just a science that changes your thought processes. Yes. It just helps you live in the present. When you're in the present, that's where you're calmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's I'm going to ask you a very tricky question.
I can say that I can't answer. Can I say that?
You may or may not answer it. If you want to, you can. If you don't want to, it's still fine. We can move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
So we spoke earlier also about running, which is a part of cardiovascular exercise. There are avid runners out there. And then there are people like me who are I'm a power lifter. I'm an avid, so I'm always doing weights in the gym, either weights or bodywork training. I'm always doing stuff like that. So the yoga is the least of our hobbies. Actually, I'm not even going to say we ignore it. Yeah. I'm going to be the first to admit, and they know, even though they won't admit it, they are afraid of it.
Yes, yeah.
They are afraid of it. They'll place certain stereotypes to it, but no, I know for a fact that people are afraid of yoga. So would you suggest that people can achieve their body goals with just yoga? Or is it
depends on what you're looking for. My exercise where I go to is yoga. But then on the sides I do other things. I roller skate, I hula hoop.
Wow.
I hike. Yeah. So it opens you up to other things. But if you are an athlete already, you do weights and stuff. Remember when you're picking up your weights and you're building muscle, does your muscle elongate or shorten? It
shortens, yes.
Yes, it shortens. Then if you add yoga to your weight training, then you balance that out, and avoid injuries. Runners too. Runners' legs. Tight, very tight hamstrings. With yoga, then you get to stretch. How many people can say safely they do warm up before running and stretch after?
Hardly.
Yeah. So if you have in your routine, you just add the yoga, that will help. Soccer players, 90 minutes on the field. Do they concentrate for 90 minutes? No.
Hardly.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you about my team. I'm going to make it personal. I know my team doesn't concentrate for 90 minutes.
Of course, you lose it.
Yeah.
So yoga helps you with concentration, living in the present. You're there. We practice yoga, most of us, without even realizing it. When you drive, when you walk on the street, you have to concentrate, and you're living in the present. So that's part of yoga too. But something that it's a lifestyle. It's not just exercises. That helps too, but that's just the eyes.
What's the weirdest thing you've seen in a yoga class, like when you were teaching a class?
Oh, very...
I know there's a lot of gas out that happens.
Yeah, remember we did that posture when I said we're working into a digestive system? Yeah. The name of that posture is wind removing pose.
Okay.
Wind removing.
Oh, so you expect that to happen?
of years. I got people say they come to yoga and the whole class, all they're doing is try to hold back.
Yeah. You're a brave woman. Yes. Okay.
That happens a lot. And people who are just fidgety,
Mm.
you're supposed to try and
get them back
stillness.
into
Yeah, stillness. You find people who are very fidgety.
Mm.
People who know a lot, who've Googled a lot about yoga, and they come to your class and they want to do their own thing.
Okay.
It's challenging to have those kind of people in class. You as a teacher, you want them to listen to you.
Mm.
You don't want them to hurt themselves. But then by giving them attention, you're taking attention away from other people. So you just try and guide them in the beginning, like, listen, let's go together. It's a group energy thing. That's why it's nice to teach a group. It's energy thing. And it's their choice. They listen or they don't.
Yeah.
Just if they don't listen to you, just let it go and teach other people.
I've stopped training clients like that. You know that. I've just
group.
Yeah. No, not
people
a group.
who don't listen.
The Google clients. We call them the Google clients.
Yeah.
who come to you for advice for your services, and then
afterwards they
still tell you what to do.
Of course.
Because they'll come to you and you consult and you drop a program for them.
Yeah.
And when it's time to implement the program, they'll tell you a whole lot of things about how this is not working. And sure. Yeah. And also I've seen some weird things as well in my profession. I mean, I've done some group classes earlier on in my career. And I've seen the weirdest. People have passed out. People have puked in my class, and I was like, "Sure."
I have had a guy dislocate the shoulder.
Ooh.
In the weirdest posture, not even using your arm. We're just doing, I don't know if you know warrior pose, the triangle pose.
Yes.
You're not even using strength. It's not like your arms are on the floor.
Yeah.
And scariest thing ever, the shoulder dislocated. It was like the part of the shoulder blade piercing through the skin. That was, I mean, I was teaching for maybe 6 months at the time when that happened.
Oh, you were still a newbie.
Yo.
You must have wished you lived in your past. That like you didn't want that in your present.
Yeah. Luckily, it was not the first time it had happened to him. He said it had happened before.
Oh, so this
when he was sneezing. So
that sounds like a serious condition. I laugh, but that sounds like a very serious
It is. He says no, he just goes back to the hospital, just that they have to, administer anesthetic on him so they can just snap it back.
Those life insurance premiums must be very high. If he's going in and out of hospitals for dislocated shoulders.
Yeah.
Sure. Hey, man.
It's the type of things.
Hey, damn. Guys, we are having a chat about yoga here. If you've just joined us, we're talking to Pebetsi Magkalemela, who is a yoga teacher, and she's taking us through some very interesting facts about yoga. I mean, we started talking about her journey. We spoke about the different types of yoga, and now we're gonna go into her take on nutrition. I mean, this is a very big topic worldwide, and it's a trending topic within the health and fitness industry as well. You know what I mean? We're talking diets, keto versus vegan. We're talking bunting versus you know what I mean? There's a lot to talk about in the, which where do you sway? Where do you go?
Me personally, I try to eat well.
Okay.
Eating a balanced meal, but with yoga, there's no prescribed diet. So I said that before. Once you start practicing without thinking about it, it alters your thought process that you will try to eat better because when you've eaten bad and you come to class, what happens? That's if you want to commit to the practice. So I do not prescribe any diet.
Okay.
And there is no one size fits all. So people people go into bunting. I personally can't go into bunting, and it works for them. I do intermittent fasting. It works for me because I am a very fussy eater. So if I don't do that, I actually call it scheduled eating.
Okay.
If I don't do it, I forget to eat. The whole day will go. So if I remember at 12 o'clock, I need to eat. So that.
So you have to remember to eat.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna comment about that. Listen,
that's why I call it scheduled eating.
Yeah.
So I have to remember to eat.
Okay.
Or else I'll overeat or I won't eat. I'm very bad with that. That's why this works for me.
Okay. So I'm a very curious person. So I will try each and every. So I've tried most diets, I would say. Yeah, and just to see what the fuss is about, or what work, if it would work for me or if it won't work for me, or even diet practices like scheduled eating or intermittent fasting, which has worked wonders for me. I won't even lie. That type, because I used to go like a year ago. I used to do fasted training sessions, so that's when I start training without having anything in my system. So the first thing I do in the morning is I don't even have water. I have water during my sessions, and that's it. And then I'll have a cup of tea after that, and then I'll only eat after 12. What you think is that the energy levels would be low, but it doesn't really work like that. So I actually do prescribe that to some of my clients as well.
Yeah.
If they want to do. But I've seen personally that the pescatarian diet works well for me. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm pescatarian right now, but I foresee it happening when I have enough money to afford a pescatarian, because it's not a cheap diet. I can tell you that. I did it for 2 months. I was like, nope. I need to buy some chicken up in this house. Yeah. So you don't have an like a set opinion on any diet.
No. I wouldn't say. I just stay away from red meat.
Okay.
I do eat red meat, but I stay away from it most of the time. Yeah. So I prefer like oats in the morning, oats with cinnamon, and I'll have soup for lunch or salad, or depending who I'm with, I'll end up having a pizza maybe. But I'm not too fussy on what I eat, honestly.
Hey, because your friends will have you having pizzas. What's up, Lana?
Yes. You go out for lunch, the diet
I've
goes out of the window.
I've got a lunch tin in the car. They're like, just have a slice. And because it smells so good, you can't even ignore it.
I believe the trick with this is just balance.
Yeah.
Not just stick to one thing. Add color into your life.
Yeah. So there were a few people who were in the gym who used to train like they were bodybuilders, right? They were bodybuilders. So they train mainly for aesthetic. So they focus on having as less body fat in their bodies as possible.
Yeah.
Hey, but what I figured out is that those people were always angry.
They say they're hangry.
They are so hangry because now they're eating one meal for like 6 months and 3 or 4 times a day. Boiled chicken and rice, and broccoli and then when they have to have some variety, steak and so on. It's not really appetizing. Yeah, no, it was not. I had a guest on here the other day, and he was a bodybuilder, and he told me a story that he was sitting with his family once at a restaurant, and as soon as their order came through, Yadijo, he had to go up and get his kaftin.
Oh no. That is so crazy.
Yeah, get his lunchbox, so because he couldn't eat anything that was on the table.
Oh my word.
Yeah. I would never live my life like that.
No, I think you must just get a balance, honestly.
Yeah.
Just eat proper 80% of the time or something like that. Yeah.
So we spoke earlier on about the fertility benefits of yoga. Right? How do you know the mechanics?
No, I don't. All I know is that mostly when you're trying to conceive, you are stressed. You are like counting days, you know.
I don't know. I haven't
The
been
poor
under that
man
stress.
must like, hey, it's time, come, let's do it, you know. So you're always tense.
Yeah.
And with yoga, then it helps you relax a little bit. So your body's open. But again, with yoga, we try to bring your body back into how it's supposed to feel. You know, when your body is feeling good and it's working as it's supposed to, then, you know, things will start happening.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's easier said than done.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't
for both male and female?
I'm not sure about male. Male can.
I need to do some
shoot
research
anytime.
about that. I need to do
Yeah,
some research.
I think it's more a problem on the woman's side. We're the one who will be counting and have to have your legs up.
Oh, okay. Hey, no. I will. Hey, you guys are listening. I hope you guys are listening. You know, because we live in a society of very, very stressed out people right now.
Yes, especially with what's happening now.
Yeah.
You know, it's very stressful.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of people who work home are more stressed because especially the Zoom. People never look at themselves in the mirror. Now you have to look at yourself and talk to people their whole day. How stressed are you gonna be?
So it's weird. I do it for 2 hours and I'm like, I can't be doing this. I have to go outside and get some sun. Yeah. So do you think it contributes? How much yoga do you think one has to do per day, maybe to get some sort of productivity happening, just to distract themselves from what's happening in their normal life?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah. Just so on other days then you can do what's called yin yoga, which is softer. It's, you know, you can do that thing. We can just get a thing, something on YouTube and follow it. It's easy to follow. You can just get a 20-minute class. That helps. So you get moving every day. But you eat every day. You have to practice yoga every day. We always say if you want to improve, at least 5 times a week. If you want to maintain, 3 times a week.
Okay.
5 times or more will give you that, you know, improvement and the edge. But as with any other workout, you need to rest your body. So 1 day a week to rest, or if you don't want to rest, then you do something like yin yoga. It's a softer movement. Slower movement.
Talking about rest, I was talking to one of my friends on the phone before you got here. And she was telling me that, because I told her that she must listen live because I've got a yoga teacher coming onto the show. She was like, Mo, I went to a yoga class yesterday. Sure. I started sweating bullets. People don't think you sweat in yoga. And I can vouch that I sweat more in yoga than I do in my normal sessions. Because I think it's because you start using other parts of your body and you start having to focus on other parts of your body that you've never focused on in your life. Yeah. Do you think the younger you start, the more, with everything else, obviously, you know, the younger you start, the better you are as you age, right? With yoga.
Yeah, I wish I had started earlier. You know, I started in my 30s. Yeah. I wish I found yoga earlier. The younger you are, then your body, you know, gets used to be moving that way. I mean, I can tell you things that I have a 5-year-old grandchild who can do things, postures, but then if she stops, now she does yoga now. If she stops, I know it's going to go away. Those postures took me like 2 years to get into them, and naturally she can do them. So the more, if you stop using something, you lose it. Yeah. Rather start earlier if you can. I mean, when did you know that there's something called yoga?
Well, I've known about it for a long time. So I as I said earlier, I ignored it. I'm not gonna say I didn't know about it. I just ignored it because Firstly, I thought it wouldn't benefit me. You know, when we start these things, you're like, dog, I lift weights, I do sports, I don't need yoga, man. What do I need yoga for?
It's a woman thing.
It's a woman thing, you know.
Uh,
And then I was like, nope. As you get older and you get smarter, I'd hope, you know, and you start thinking about things from other perspectives, or you start exploring other parts of the your body that, you know, to improve whatever it is your main focus is.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I've realized that when I do yoga, I do get stronger. You know, my lifts become really, really stronger, and my posture really, really does.
Yeah, that helps with the posture.
It really does work. It does work wonders with the posture. But I do recommend it. I do recommend it to the people. Whether they listen to me or not, I cannot tell you, because I'm like,
yeah, the people feel that you're saying they must stop what they're doing, and it's not that. You know, you just build it into your whatever routine.
I had a client who was told that she was not flexible enough for her age.
Told by
a kineticist, because her movement was very limited. It was very limited to what she was supposed to be able to do for her age. She wasn't able, and she looked really fit. Yeah. So when she told me that, I was shocked, and I was like, did I break you? I had to ask, did I break you? You know, she was like, no, it's not me. It's just, you know. And then once she started doing yoga, everything else just started.
Range of motion.
Her range of motion, everything else. Even our sessions started improving. She became a better athlete. She became stronger. It works wonders.
It does.
I won't even lie. I really respect the craft of yoga. I just wanted to bring you into the show just so that people know more about yoga. Yeah. So what do you say to somebody who wants to start, who is afraid to start, somebody who was like me?
Yeah, I'll tell you, yoga is not, you don't have to be flexible to do it. We do yoga because we want to build it. You build flexibility, you build strength as well, you know, and it's not yoga perfect. It's practice. We call it yoga practice for a reason, you know, because you practice and practice, and we never get perfect in yoga. There are like thousands of postures. I don't know if there's anyone who can do all those postures.
Okay.
You know, start small. Every little bit that you do, it's not all or nothing. There's always something that you're getting. Even if it's all you're getting is just mental clarity. That's all. You know.
I don't know how you stop yourself from laughing at these yoga sessions, eh? I was watching when we were doing our session now before this recording. I was watching the guys we work with here, KG, Lewotapi. I was like, no way. And because I was standing behind them, I could see everything that they were doing. I was like, no, how is she not laughing? It takes some sort of discipline to do what you do. I won't lie.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah. So tell us about the hot yoga.
Yes.
Yeah.
I teach we call it hot 26 now, but it's originally Bikram yoga.
Yeah.
So when I went to training, it was.
Who is Bikram?
Bikram is a man.
Okay.
He's still alive now.
Okay.
He is Indian.
Okay.
Was trained in yoga because he was a bodybuilder. And he had injured.
Thickens.
Yes, and he had injured his knee. He had, some weights had fallen on his knee, and he went to a yoga teacher, and he was taught. He did yoga when he was younger and stopped and went into bodybuilding.
Okay,
and he went back to this yoga guru to try and help him fix the knee. So that's how hot yoga was born. They practiced in a hot room and do all those knees extensions and abductions and whatever on the knee, and built this whole sequence as they were, doing it. And he was in India, so he went to US in the 70s and started this. He used his name now to call it Bikram Yoga. And when he came in the 70s, I mean, he taught people like Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, people like that.
Okay.
All the celebrities. It was like a
Is Quincy Jones still alive?
I think so.
Sure.
I think he's still alive.
I should take up Bikram Yoga. I want to live that long. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you see him now, this Bikram is in his 70s. He is still active. He's looking good. His skin is looking good. You can't say that he's in his 70s. He can pass for, I don't know, late 50%.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how, he got, and then he built this, whole brand and invited people from all over the world. So we all, whoever calls themselves a Bikram teacher, they've gone to train with him in the US. Wow. Yeah.
So you've done that must have been amazing.
Yeah, that was the toughest thing I've ever done.
Really? So what take us through that before we get to the end of this? How do you what happens? You get to the airport and then what? Sure.
No, it's in a hotel. We stayed at LAX.
Okay.
And it's a 9-week program. 2 classes a day, 90-minute classes a day.
Sheesh.
It's sleep deprivation is a big thing there. So your day starts with a class at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And that lasts an hour and a half. Then you have to have your food, something to eat, but study as well, because you're given homework every day. Okay.
Okay. Is that the University of Yoga?
Yes.
Okay.
And then 12 o'clock, you're back in class to do what we call posture clinic. So where you are taught how to teach. So say the words. You say the words so that you get action from them. If you had listened when I was talking, I don't say lift your right leg. Or I'll say right leg, lift up. So when I say right leg, you're already thinking about your right leg, and then you lift it up. If I say lift up, you think about lifting first, and then you lift your right leg. Yeah. So they teach you things like that to teach, to get action out of people, and don't say a lot of words, empty words, and people don't get into action. You do that until about 4. Of course, you'll have a break in between, like 15-minute tea break and whatever, until 4, and you have another class at 5. You have that class at 5 until 7:30 or 6:30. You have a bit of a break, and then 8 or 9 o'clock at night, you're back into lecture. And then you learn again physiology of yoga, history of yoga, and what that's sitting down now in class at 9 at night. That ends about 12 or 1 or whatever. It's a 3-4 hour session. And then say you go to bed at about 1 or 2.
If you can.
If you can.
Yeah.
But remember, at 8 o'clock, you're going to class. So we'll wake up early, wake up at 6 and have to study, because you don't have time. You have to present every day at 12, you present. So that goes on for 9 weeks. It's very intense, but very worth it at the end.
I'm interested and scared at the same time. Like, I would love to do something like that. Actually, that would be so amazing.
It's like boot camp.
Can anyone start that process? Can I just apply and?
No, you can't. You have to have been practicing regularly for at least 6 months. So what they require is your teacher. You have to have a mentor who's going to sign you off and say you've been practicing at least 5 times a week for 6 months.
Okay, so this is self-funded, obviously.
Self-funded, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, self-funded.
I hope you made your money back.
No. No, you can never make it in monetary value, but then the job satisfaction, the richness of your soul that you get from that. I mean, I before I went to teacher training, I worked in a casino.
Yeah.
Complete different.
Okay.
The toxic environment that I worked at. When I left, I felt so empty. With this, it feels you don't get rich from money, cash. We don't make that much money, but the fulfillment that you get,
spiritual fulfillment.
Exactly. That's so worth it.
Do your friends do yoga? Do you hang around with friends who?
Yes, I do. My friends that I had before I went into the yoga journey, they don't do it. I've invited them and paid for them. They come for one class and they don't. But I've made friends that are long-lasting that I met at yoga. Some people I went to teacher training with, or those who are my students, even now that are my friends now. I have those too.
Thank you for joining us. This was lovely.
It's been a pleasure.
This was lovely. This was very, very enlightening. If you have just joined us, you are late. But thank you for tuning in nonetheless. We were talking to Pebetsi Magkalemela, who is a yoga teacher, and she was taking us through a journey of enlightenment, of enrichment, spiritual enrichment. It's an interesting journey. There were some fun facts there for you guys. So if you did not catch this live broadcast, you can watch it on our YouTube page on Your Media SA, or you can listen to it on yourmedia.co.za or iTunes and Spotify under the Your Media banner. There are other podcasts under the Your Media platform as well. We've got The Show Goes On with Noni, The Transcript with Tiamo, Totally Not Taboo with Tracy, Plant Power with where we've got a huge variety of shows that you can catch on the platform, including this one, The HealthFix with Mo, where we were talking today about yoga, the original flex. Yeah, this was a good one. Thank you again for coming through, and I will definitely have you on to. I'll be better next time, I promise.
Shame you had an injury.
Yeah.
You listened to your body. That's good. That's part of yoga. You did your yoga today.
Yeah. Yeah. So guys, this was the Health Fix with Mo. Episode is every Thursday at 1. This is your weekly fix of health and fitness knowledge. Peace out.
Your Media, where you are. The Health Fix with Mo, a body and mind journey towards a healthier you.